can't believe it's taken this long to review the biggest selling album in worldwide. But after the record-breaking weekend for Michael's biopic, it's only fitting that we celebrate the album as well. And as people might not know, it made $217 million at the box office this weekend, being the number one film in the world. Broke all expectations, especially in North America, where the critics tried to derail the success. And so it's already made its money back and some, and hasn't even opened in Japan, one of the biggest markets for Michael Jackson. That aside, it's good to see Stevie and Ade. How are you both doing?
Good evening, all. Good evening. Shamon!
Yeah, Mo, is that it? Yeah, I'll put when we have our guest. Okay, well, I'll start with you, Ade. How have you been?
I've been really good. I just really love that Michael Mania is back in effect, and I've seen the movie twice already.
Oh
I saw
wow!
it last night, so I loved it. I loved it. It did feel a little fast for me, but I understand why, like given like the legal restraints and stuff. But I think Jafar, the little Giuliano, I think they did an amazing job portraying Michael.
Definitely, definitely. Ezekiel, how you doing? Let me just put this down here and stuff like that. I think I'm probably best suited there. Okay. Um, you saw it twice. Oh, how did you? Okay, I've seen it once, and I do plan to see it again. But how did you go see it twice?
So the first time I saw it, I think I recommend everyone to go see an IMAX. Um, yesterday I just had the urge to just go again, and I just saw it like probably 2 days before I saw it again. I don't know. It's just very inspiring to see this side of him, and I'm really glad they showed the humanitarian side of it,
Mm,
just to be like inspired. Like Michael all around just so inspiring. Like his work ethic, his dedication to his work, and it's just like yes, like be on a grind, just grind. Like you got it.
yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Wow. Goodness, Stevie, how you doing? For those who didn't watch yesterday, what did you make of the film?
I would just, like I said in the last live stream, I'd read the previous week up to it. There was the critics were panning this 1 out of 5, and then I'd seen some trailers, and I was like, oh, I just don't know, and then we seen all the audiences coming out the cinema, and they were kind of euphoric. There's a lot of dancing, a lot of fake MJs going on, and I thought, well, this lot like it. The critics don't seem to like it, and I thought, don't read any reviews, just go. I got an early morning showing yesterday. I had the cinema to myself. There was about 8 people in there, whole cinema to myself. And I just thought, I cleared my head, and I thought, I just want to feel like I've gone back to the 80s. If it makes me feel like that, make me feel like a kid again, a bit of nostalgia, I'll be very happy. And I came out of that cinema emotional, euphoric, and just so happy. Just so happy. I should have really experienced it with a few more friends, or with the more people in the cinema. But I could always go and see it again.
Yeah.
There is some scenes in it that are complete fantasy, and you think, nah, there's just no way that ever happened. And it does. The time frame of the movie does jump a lot, very, very quickly. But I really enjoyed it. I did. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'd encourage anybody, just go and see it.
Yeah.
Make your own mind up. We don't want to. I suppose we did reveal a lot of bloopers last night in that stream. But if you're not, please go and see it.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. Just go. If you want an old-fashioned movie, popcorn movie, like I say, if you go to see a horror movie, you want to come out of the horror movie frightened to death, and it's done its job then. But if you go into a movie that it's going to entertain you, want to be entertained, uplifted, and it does all that. Jafar as Michael did an incredible. You could tell he worked his socks off to perform like Michael. The little Michael had an incredible voice. We didn't see enough of him at the beginning, but what an incredible voice he had. A true upcoming superstar. Just go and see it. Enjoy.
Yeah, I want to welcome Dario from Washington, D.C. Welcome. Big fan of Michael, as you said. And DJ All Day, welcome. Don't worry, we won't give you any spoilers. That was yesterday's broadcast. So today's the focus is on Thriller. And, and can you imagine if they'd just done a movie on the making of Thriller? And
Oh,
just so then Michael making Thriller, and almost like just that could just be almost a movie in itself, where it's all about coming, after after Off the Wall, after breaking free from his siblings, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna make this big album. You can just do, how in Star Wars they have the various different sub movies. You can actually just do with this the Michael universe, do the making of Thriller film, and it goes through all that, all the musicians, or everyone come together and watching it explode. Then you could probably do the making of Bad. You can just start making those those movies. But yes, it's to make 200 million plus opening weekend for a film that people thought was, the critics criticized. It is definitely an amazing achievement. So, but this is going to be a difficult one tonight. This Thriller album,
yeah.
because I don't. Okay, I'll probably start with you, Dave, because for both Stevie and I, this album was part of our childhood. So many of us, so many memories, and I'll share some on it. But when did you discover this album, and what did you make of it?
I discovered this album in my childhood as well, like a little different because it hadn't like just came out. But my parents, like I remember just seeing the Thriller video a million times, Billie Jean a million times, and it's crazy how like kids are being born even now. You put on Michael video, and we just feel like so connected to this man that lived so many like decades ago that was creating so many decades ago. It's just it's like a phenomenon. I don't know. It's like a phenomenon, like just being attached to some sort of like entity within a screen, which you never really met before. But it's just so intriguing and beautifully done. Like every single song on here is a actual hit.
Mm.
So it's no bad song. It's no like, I only listened to this once. No, like you can repeatedly play these songs over and over. Just genius. He's just oh my gosh, he's otherworldly. Like it's amazing. Yeah. It's nothing else.
Yeah, Stevie, what did you make of the of Thriller, and when did you think you did remember to discover it?
I do. I remember this vividly. I was 8 years old, Namdi, and I'm not sure whether but been about a year before, but between the ages of 6 and 8, it was where my family started to introduce me to music. My aunt gave me her record player that she wasn't using at the time, and my dad gave me 2 LPs around that time. One of them was an Elvis Greatest Hits album. Another one was a Buddy Holly Greatest Hits. And I
Bloody
remember
hell.
stealing my aunt's 7-inch single of Rocker's Revenge, which was a very early introduction to 80s kind of disco boogie groove. I didn't understand that then. I just knew it was a brilliant record. And I remember arguing and screaming the house down because she wouldn't let me have it. And I went, no, I'm taking it. You give me a record player, you have to give me that record. So I had them 3 bits to listen to. And I think it would have been my 8th birthday. No, would have been, 6, 7, 8. My gran brought me a Walkman. And I pulled this out tonight. She gave me this Thriller cassette tape.
That exact one?
I've got 2 tapes. This is one I found recently because I didn't have. There's different tapes. This one says it's hardly see it, but it says including The Girl Is Mine. That's actually wrote on it. I'm not sure my original Thriller tape says that, but I have found this cassette tape. This is a very early pressing of the Thriller cassette tape. It's a UK copy, but that was my first introduction to a Walkman and a cassette tape. And I just remember putting the headphones on, and my grandma had a park where she lived, and I went for a walk in the park, and I'm playing Wanna Be Startin Somethin. And I remember I kept rewinding, learning how to rewind a tape, rewinding the bit where it goes, am I saying I'm a Sam Makusa? Am I saying that? I thought that just blew me away. I kept rewinding it and listening to that bit over and over again. So this was my very early introduction to Michael Jackson, and imagine hearing this as an 8-year old. I'm just like, I'm blown away, and I think this is what started my love for collecting music. It
Wow.
goes back to this,
Wow.
just having this and these like a day's discovering as she's discovering. She's been discovering physical media for quite a while now. She's got that buzz that I had when I was so young. So that was it, mate. That was, that's where it all
Wow.
started for me with that
My
little cassette
goodness.
tape. There's a
And you
lot I
st-
can say about this album. I mean, we can go on to. I mean, the next bit would be when I saw obviously the Billie Jean video and then the Thriller video. It was all around this time. I had to go to my cousin's. My cousins had a VHS cassette player, and they had the Thriller tape, and I saw Thriller for the first time. And again, seeing it that young, I had nightmares for weeks. I remember my mum had to come and collect me from my cousins because I was too frightened to walk home on my own in the dark. After seeing it, I was having the Thriller video gave me nightmares. And, I'd already watched American Werewolf in London when
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
me and my sister one morning sneaked down into the living room while my parents were asleep, and we put this VHS tape in the player of American Werewolf in London, and there's a
Mm.
scene in it where he walks into the forest, and he's stood behind a tree, and he sees I think he sees his mate who's already been killed by a werewolf. He's lay on the bed, and this nurse is attending to him, and he looks at him, and his eyes turn like it does in Thriller, and
Mm.
that frightened the life out of me. That scene, I'll never, and it's the same. Michael had studied that film, and he
Well,
knew
John
when,
Landis, who
yeah,
directed America, he
yeah.
said, "I want you to do the Thriller video," and he had
But
never
the
done a
way the
music
way
video.
the way he turns, the way Michael
Yeah.
turns in that and looks at with his eyes, he
Mm.
got that from American Werewolf in London. It's a
Yeah.
standard horror thing where it's the shock, you don't
Yeah.
see it coming. And again, he got me on the Thriller. So I'm so lucky to have lived through these
Mm.
times. We're
Yeah.
so lucky, Namdi. We were there. We were there. We saw the hysteria, the hype of Thriller.
Yeah.
You know, we you couldn't
It-
even when the Thriller LP came out, right? A lot of people don't know this, but after a month and a half, especially in the States, you couldn't get the Thriller album. It sold out everywhere. And CBS they had to hire other record company pressing plants to press the album up. It was such in demand. You know, the artist Eddie Grant,
mhm.
remember him? I
Yeah.
don't
Rock.
want to dance
Yeah.
down
Rock
to
down to
Electric Avenue. Well,
yeah.
he had a pressing plant, right? And he was paid a penny for every copy of Thriller that he could press up. He made a shed load of money from pressing millions of copies of Thriller with his own
Wow.
pressing plant. A lot of people don't know that. But you could not get it after a month after it was released. It had just gone. The demand for it. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
I'll let you speak. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for a day, it's probably hard to comprehend what life was before streaming. What life was before streaming. So you had to buy the actual product, and and when this came out, it wasn't CDs, it was cassettes and vinyl, and most people had cassettes. Vinyls were most some families had the vinyl, but cassettes were a lot more portable. And so the album came out November of '82. We had just relocated from Liverpool to Nigeria around that time. And so I missed the UK hype of it. But when I moved to Nigeria, every birthday party you went to, they were playing "Want to Be Started Something" or PYT. It was, and I was telling a friend's son today, I think he's 23, or Josh, and he was like, "Man, and he'd watched the Michael movie twice, and he said he can't imagine what it was like to be alive during the time the album came out." And me and his parents were both talking about, remember this, and he's just there, this 23-year-old, just watching in awe the fact that we're talking about we were there when the album came out and we all had it. And I said it was big in Nigeria, in the US, it was big in the UK, but the fact that even in Nigeria, which is, at that time, that people were actually buying the tape. So Sony must have were releasing it. Everyone owned a copy of the album, and even the making of Thriller, the video itself was a big seller. It sold millions of copies. Just people wanted to watch how the video, the movie, the stuff was made. As I mentioned, it is hard to comprehend now because you can just watch it and no big deal. But back then, it was an event, and so to think about how big this album is, where it sold over 100 million, nothing has come close to that.
Right.
That universally, no matter how old you were, you could appreciate the album.
Mm.
I mean, yeah. I don't know what it's like now watching the Thriller video in your time compared to
Well,
how it was.
I love just being able to go to YouTube, type it up, and watch it. My hand
Yeah,
whenever I want to watch it. I love that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have Thriller albums. It's what iPhone is to the '07. I mean, yeah, um, it's definitely an amazing. I mean, as I said, the thing also about this album, which we do have to commend, is the fact that they were very purposeful to say we're only going to put a certain number of songs on this album, and we are not going to just put a song just for the sake of it. Because if you fast forward to the '90s, loads of albums had 15 songs on there, which Jackie McGee would say album fillers, fillers, fillers. Just put songs on there. They made sure that every song was an important song that could have been released as a single.
Hmm.
Which subsequent albums, and unfortunately for Michael, is that after this, no, after the Bad album, he started to getting 14, 15, 16 songs on an album, which I thought a little too much. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's different. Definitely, we're going to go through each of the. Well, we're going to have our top nine on there, and be able to count down. Um, he actually released 7 singles from the album out of 9. So that is out of 9. He released 7 of them, and I remember interviewing the T.C. Tompkins, who was the general manager of GR Production with Gene Griffin and Ted Riley. But before that, he used to be the head of promotions at Sony at CBS Records. And he was saying that their job was to promote the album, but he was just saying that it was just going off the shelf that most of them didn't have to do anything. They just had to, as Stevie says, make sure they can make copies because they'd never seen anything like that before. Um, so can you just imagine something that just shatters records? No social media to hype it up. It was pretty much mainstream TV. There's not like we have Netflix and cable or of cell phones and all that stuff. It was pretty much everyone rushing into the record store and picking up a copy.
Hmm.
Unbelievable situation. Unbelievable situation. Is okay. So going through though, um, did okay. Well, as I said, I'm just going to read some of the things it says. This is it spent the album stood on top of the charts for 37 consecutive weeks. The album's second and third singles, Billie Jean and Beat It, topped the 100 Billboard 100 chart. The Girl Is Mine, Want to Be Starting Something, Human Nature, PYT, and Thriller were top 10 hits, setting a record for the most top 10 hits from our one album. Sales of Thrill surged after Jackson debuted the signature moonwalk on Motown 25. And I do wonder about that. I was surprised to see how much that particular performance had such an effect because there are very few, I don't know if anyone can think of another performance by an artist um, on a TV show that then became an instant buzz that everyone thought, "Oh my goodness, did you see that?" Well, a day. I mean, in your short lifetime, have you? What is there anything you've seen on TV that there's been a buzz about any performance or stuff?
Beyonce's Super Bowl performance. That's what I remember. That's what comes to my head. Her Super Bowl performance.
She did. She was. Did she do? She done one on her own.
Well, when she was with Bruno Mars and Coldplay.
So she's not had. She's not done one of her own. She's done two different. Okay.
I don't think. Well, yeah, she's done two different ones. But I'm
Yeah.
not talking about the cowboy. I'm talking about the one when she was in the like the black and gold that was
Oh,
dedicated to.
with Bruno Mars. Then
That's,
yes.
that's what I remember that created that.
Okay.
Very iconic.
Okay. Stevie, can you remember any performance that has generated?
Well, mate, I mean, I do remember the Motown that celebration just vividly because I had, in the 80s, you had a tiny TV. The back was long. It's tiny. It would be in the corner of you. We must have had about 3 channels then. I don't think it was channel 4 even back then. But seeing it then on that screen, and watching it and seeing his performance and doing that moonwalk, it was exhilarating. You hadn't seen anything like that before. Not only that performance, but think about, let me remind some of you about the Billie Jean video that a lot of people have forgot. The bit where he walks on those steps that light up. No one had ever seen that before. No one had ever seen steps light up on a video. That was something that just blew people's in the early 80s. It just blew people's heads away.
Yeah, because no one really invested money in music videos. Videos
No,
were just like you just stand on a stage and sing, or just do some very minor stuff. And so he did. Yeah, I always remember yeah, I always remember the fact that he would touch stuff and he would put his foot on the stuff and it would light up, and the detective guy, following him around, and yeah, so that was definitely something that I did remember. I'm trying to remember any other videos. Beat It. Um, the fact that he was trying to stop the fight. He looked very serious in that. Um, that was also a big one.
incredible
And
video. Incredible.
yeah, yeah. So I think Whitney's performance of the national anthem is a big one, but you know, um, but yeah, the Motown 25, because actually when you watch the full, have you seen it today? The actual full performance
Like
of Motown.
everybody, like
Yeah,
Diana Ross and Supremes, what's up?
because I was looking forward to the Temptations, because I was a big Temptations fan, and they had the rivals with the Four Tops. The Barge were there singing "Rhythm of the Night" because that was a big hit for them. Um, so you had a lot of the old school plot. What was that?
In the full thing. Just
Oh no! So if you watch the full thing, you can then appreciate the fact that it wasn't. It was a good 2.5 hours of all the Motown legends performing,
mhm.
and so when you have all the Motown legends performing, the fact that they just said, okay, the Jacksons come out, and Michael and his brothers do their thing, and Randy joins in, and then I used to dislike him for that. He was like, because when the brothers are hugging, like, yeah, man, how's it going and everything, and then he walks away like, okay, yeah, you can get away now. It's my turn. It's that kind of thing. He says, so as they're hugging and waving, he says, okay, yeah, those are the good old days, but now it's for the new stuff.
New stuff.
And then it's like the brothers have to kind of rush off the stage before so he starts.
Mhm.
And but as I said, watch the entire performance. It's because it's really classic. But that just was the highlight of it. And I don't know why that performance stood out, because everyone else was doing stuff. There's rumors that Marvin Gaye was angry that he didn't get to perform Sexual Healing, that he had to sing his own stuff. That why was Michael given the opportunity to perform a new song where everyone was supposed to be performing Motown hits? Um, but that was the only way they could get Michael to show, if they would give him that spot, and so that was a
Thank God he
compromise.
did. Thank God they let him. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyone, I think one of the best TV movies has been the Jacksons: An American Dream. I think everyone should have that on DVD or stuff, because it was about the family, and it led up to Motown 25, but it was really well documented. So the Michael movie didn't was really about him and that small part, but that TV movie was so much better at covering all that stuff leading up to Motown 25 and the negotiation between Michael and Barry Gordy to perform. Um, so that was definitely worth watching. Okay. Please, everyone, as you're watching, remember, as you can see the comments, you can comment because it's part of the stream. So we're all able to see as we celebrate this album. Okay, over 120 million copies sold. I think it'll sell another couple million after the release of this film, without a doubt. All right, so what we're going to try and attempt to do, which is very difficult, is to be able to go through our top 9 songs in order. So we start with, it's hard to say least favorite, but we start off with number 9, and then we go down to number 1, what we think is our favorite song off of the album. I would say that for me, my top 3 were easy. I would say that my
Oops. He's gone.
oh
Oh.
goodness, I have no idea. I just did a Stevie Street there. What I just saw the connection and just disappeared. Anyway, I would say that from 9 to 3, it could have just gone anywhere. But from 1 and 2, I already had those nailed. So yes, J Hard, welcome. Jackie, welcome as well. All right, Dio, welcome as well. Michael, welcome. Okay, so today on the Thrill album, what's number 9 for you? And guys, what we're doing, if this is your first time joining,
I'm
in
holding
the
my
comments,
breath. A day's number 9. I'm holding my breath. What's she gonna pick?
yeah, but guys, in the comments, you can start your number. What's number 9 on the Thrill album, and 8 all the way up to number 1. So, Ade, what is your number 9?
No, I actually did it different this time. Usually I'm always like, oh, I'm just going to pick what Little Me's favorite is going to be because, she lives through me. But this time I went through like in a fresh mind right now. And so I'm going to say that my number 9 is Baby Be Mine.
What? 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 No way!
Yes.
Number 9. Stop it!
No, like everything is a hit, but it's just like my top 5, my top 5.
Oh my gosh! I'm having a heart attack. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like,
oh goodness. Wow. Okay. I guess I've just okay. Okay. So okay. At least it has to be somewhere. It has to be somewhere.
good.
My
Stevie.
gosh!
Stevie, what about you?
Why is that number 9?
Number 9, again, like this is fresh, new. Back then, I remember just seeing a clip. It was a picture of him in the Liberian Girl video on the cover of Baby Be Mine. I used to listen to that down, but now it's just lower on my list. But I still love it. I absolutely love everything on here.
Okay. Stevie, what about you? What's number 9?
There's only one record that should go at number 9 because the rest of the tracks after this could be number 1. That's how good this album is, and it'll come as no surprise to many of you. It's this record here, "The Girl Is Mine" with Paul McCartney. This is this is a UK 7-inch single. What's kind of special about this? Red vinyl. I don't know why they did it in red vinyl, but this may explain it because it says records 5 of a 9 record set. So they pressed up 9 different 7-inch singles of this, probably with all different coloured vinyl on. So you got obviously the single, "The Girl Is Mine" on side A, and then on the B side I can't remember this track. "Can't Get Out of the Rain." Can anybody remember that record?
Benson, Mark, you probably could tell us who remembers the record. "Can't Get Out of the Rain." But who's on it? Is that Michael
and Paul McCartney?
Wow.
But the story behind this is you've got the band Toto guys playing on it. When they were first called out of the studio to play on it and they'd heard the demo, they weren't happy. They just thought it was a really cheesy track, and they had to bring your friend in, Namdi, David Foster, to come and blitz over the track. But if anyone's heard the original demo of this, it's far better than what was released, in my opinion. Far better. I don't hate the record. It's just it was made for radio. It's a pop record. I don't, but it's the easiest track to put at number 9 for me. And this was the lead off single. Can you believe this was the lead off single? Considering what else you've got on this album, so a very easy pick at number 9 for me. From what I've learned about, and we'll get into this later. From what I've learned about the editing of this album, the way it was, some of the tracks were scaled down in time length. They should have left this off. They could have left this record off, and we could have got the full proper mastered album versions of some of the other tracks that I'll get into it later on. But that's number 9 for me.
Yeah, I would say that the reason why that was probably the lead single was that if you are trying to step out of Off the Wall, which was, disco urban album, and now you want to be taken seriously, what best to do than to get a member of the Beatles, who are always considered rock gods. And so you get Paul McCartney after you did Say, Say, which when I was a kid, that was a massive track. I always remember, you know, because I was born in Liverpool, so the Beatles are almost like our claim to fame. Well, not claim to fame, but that's like our own our band. And so having Soulful Michael on Say, I always remember that song as a kid. It was on the charts, and now it's almost let me repay back, and I'll sing on your songs, so I can see how that just gets everyone's attention. Even though I mean the album probably didn't need it, but for Mike it was strategic. Like, let's get this guy and let's get that buzz and take me and help me cross over at those early days. For number 9 for me, as a child, I loved this song, and it would have probably been in my top 3 back in the day, but now it is at number 9, and that is "The Girl Is Mine" as well. I used to love singing the song, and you're singing the song and you're thinking about somebody, and you're going back and forth, so it brings back memories. But it hasn't aged as well as the other songs.
Really?
When I say it hasn't aged, it means that actually the other songs on the album, I just feel I've appreciated more as time goes on. And so at number 9 would be, and it's not like say my least favorite. It's just that it has to be somewhere. So "The Girl Is Mine" would be at number 9.
I've got a terrible feeling a day's got this at her number 1, but we'll hope not. There is a lyric in this record, and it takes me back to my school days where guys would fight over girls at the time. The doggone girl is mine. You'd fight, wouldn't you? You'd have a classroom fight over a girl. You know what I mean? It really takes me back to in school days. And the doggone girl is mine. Da, da, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Oh goodness. Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, that's that. Yeah, I love that. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't do a video.
Same.
I'm surprised they didn't do a video. But as I said,
Yeah.
but anyway, yes. All right.
Yeah.
But also, and another thing, Rodney Jerkins said that it was this inspired the boys, mine, Brandy, and Monica. It was based on this song. I mean, not that he took anything from the song and no stuff, but it was the idea of let's have this kind of debate kind of thing. Yeah. So go ahead, Dana. What's number 8?
Really?
Music.
I can't believe y'all put that at number 9. Like, that's such an amazing.
As I said, it's
Like, but at number 8, I have "The Girl Is Mine." Amazing song. I love it. I love it so much. It's so cute, especially like when they did the talking parts. Paul, I told you I'm a lover, not a fighter. Like, I love it. But it's my number 8.
So you.
She's redeemed herself, Namdi. She's redeemed herself.
Okay. Um, Stevie, what's number eight for
Any
you?
thoughts about that record, a day? Any thoughts? When you first heard it?
When I first heard "The Girl Is Mine," I just thought Michael sounded so like charming, especially that line, Paul. I thought I told you I'm a lover, not a fighter. Like,
Yes,
I'm so
yes.
charming. Like, I know he was a ladies' man.
No,
He
I
just
forgot about that lyric actually, because it is, that's when we first heard him say that. Yeah, you brought that to our attention. The next three records, I had a terrible time positioning them between eight and six, because they could have gone anywhere, and this is where I feel really, really uncomfortable now. Even this being at number 8, because it's an incredible record. I don't know if you can see that. It says, "Want to be starting something." This
What?
did.
where's that from?
That's the single, the 7-inch UK single.
I've seen that before. Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, I know. Again, I didn't realize it was on single, but the B side is a live version of "Rock with You" with the Jacksons. What a single! What an absolute amazing single! I mean, this kind of reminds me of what Earth. This is kind of sound that Earth, Wind and Fire would do. But I'm just looking at like the musicianship on here. You got Greg Philippines, you got Bill Woofer, Paulino DiCosto, Bill Reinenbach on trombone. I mean, it's a flawless record, an absolute a great opening record, just a flawless jam, and like you say, I
You've got
can't,
Benson. You've got him even shocked that you have that.
yeah,
So,
I
and he's
can't
a super
justify it
super
even being
fan.
at number, because, like you say, I can't justify it being there.
But
It's no right to be there. In any other chart, this would be a number 1, 2, or 3 record. It's that good. But you got to remember what I'm putting ahead of it. What's a
yeah.
lovely single, that, innit? Absolutely lovely single. £1. £1 that. I got all my singles, all my MJ singles for £1 each. That's $1 each. I'm very happy.
Crazy. It should have been 100 each.
So to think about it, this album was done in less than 8 months. This is a record for Michael because Michael started taking 2 years to make albums thereafter. Um, it was started in April of 82, finished November of 82, and then it got released at the end of November. In the middle of this, he had to do the single for E.T. somewhere for the movie that came out. So he did the sound. He did the title song for E.T.'s for the biggest movie of the year, which actually for many years that was the biggest movie ever, E.T. And he did the album stuff for that. But is this Somewhere in the Dark? I can't remember the name of it. Somebody will remind me. The song he did for E.T. Um, Number 8 for me might shock some people, and I think as a song, I don't appreciate it as much as I do for as a concept. And I did remember as a kid, if I had to skip one track um, on the radio, it would probably be this one, and that is Thriller.
Oh,
What?
That's
gosh.
the song.
What?
So
Oh,
as I
my
said,
God.
as on
No.
the yes, so it's a very different thing on the video. When you watch the video and the performance, I have a very different engaged with it so much differently. Someone in the Dark, thanks, Alonso. I love the video. I can watch the music video nonstop, sit back, watch the whole making. The actual song um, on the radio, I don't appreciate it as much. So if I'm listing my favorites, it would be probably my least favorite on the album. Not that it's an issue, but it's just that if I had to put it somewhere, I had to put it at number 8.
Oh,
Because
Oh, man.
there's songs I appreciate a lot more than Thriller, the actual song. But
that's
the
crazy.
video and the whole Thriller, the thing, is much. I appreciate that. I mean, that is iconic. Not just the video, the whole making of it, the whole concept of it. So yes,
Wow. Wow.
at number 8, hey, you put one of these. You guys have put one of these done something, another, and Baby Be Mine at number 8 and 9, which is sacrilege as it is. I don't understand. Skipping Baby Mine, but Thriller, dude, come on. Wait, no, yeah, see, but yeah. So I mean, so Thriller, as a song, I put it down.
Mm, mm,
Yes.
wow.
Okay. And then number 7 for you.
For my number 7, I have "Wanna Be Starting Something." I
Nice.
love the dun, 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 dun. I love that so much. That intro beat, bass, whatever it's called, the instrumental, whatever. It's so good. Dun, dun, dun. But it's I love the song. I really want to know what he's talking about though. Like, what are you
Mama say, Mama sa, Mama pusa.
like? What is want to be starting something? Got to be starting something. Too high to get over. Low to gunner. Like, I just want to know, like, in his head, like, what did that mean? Like, what did that mean? It's cute. Though. I like it, but what did that mean?
It's the song that starts the album, and that's one of 4 songs that Mike. So out of the 9 songs on the album, Michael wrote 4 of the songs. Rod Temperton wrote 3, and then Toto, the guys from Toto wrote 1, which was Human Nature, and then James Ingram wrote PYT, Pretty Young Things. So I mean, the fact that he could write 4 songs, and this was when he realized, man, if I need, I think after this, I think when he Man in Bad, he just said, okay, I'm writing most of the songs on this album and making sure I get my stuff.
I will say though, like that song part, I'm like, what does this mean? But when he touches on, if you can't feed your baby, then don't have one. I get what you're saying. Like he cares. He cares. He added that humanitarian not humanitarian spice in there because he cares. He cares. He cares.
Yeah. Okay, Stevie, what did you put down?
My number 7 is one of the 3 tracks that I was telling you earlier that had to get edited on the album, and the story behind this one was when there was 3 masters come back. It was like every time they thought they finished the album, they send it off for mastering. Then the mastering had sent back a master LP so they could listen to it, and I think this was on the 2nd master. And apparently Michael got really mad because there's a dance segment which you see in the video, and apparently they had to cut this out, and it's far longer. The original mix of this was far longer, but at number 7 is Beat It.
What?
Beat It is at number 7 for me. Beat it. No one wants to beat it. Show them how funny. Show them how right. It doesn't matter if Stevie's wrong or right. Just beat it. Beat it. Yeah, what's on? Let's have a look at what's on this 7-inch single. So you got Beat It on one side, and then you got Burn This Disco Out on the other side, which is probably from Off the Wall, I guess. But yeah, Beat It. Like I say, to fit everything on the album, 3 of these tracks got edited. But you wouldn't notice. It is the album mix is incredible. You wouldn't notice this, but that was the story anyway. But the video was incredible. The song is, even the way it starts, that sound at the start, boing, boing. You're like, whoa, how did they make that sound? Apparently, right, the drummer, when they actually got the drums for this, they had to throw a blanket to get the sound of the drums. I think that was down to what's his name, Bruce. Is it Bruce Sweden? He had to throw a blanket. It was either this track or Human. I can't. It was either this track or Human Nature. But they wanted a certain sound on the drums, and they had to throw a blanket over just to get this certain sound. But anyway, number 7 again. It shouldn't be at number 7. It's such an iconic record, and it fed into the rock market. And it tapped into the rock audience as well, which we've seen later on, obviously, on Bad with Dirty Diana. So he kept them happy. But it's such a, Such an iconic record, that, isn't it? Brilliant record.
Yeah. I would say that the video was, I still remember just watching the video and yeah, just seeing how he comes in to break up the fight and the whole video. I actually thought the video was shot in New York. I was surprised watching the movie and seeing it actually was done in LA. Um, but I still remember, yeah, I still remember the video, the impact it had, and the fact that he got, um, he was really serious about trying to make sure he expanded his music taste and got Eddie Van Halen to do the guitar solo. And if Jimi Hendrix was alive, he probably would have had Jimi Hendrix perform on the album, because he really wanted to tap into that. But shows that he actually was into rock as well, and that's definitely was an amazing guitar solo. It's probably one of it's it if you play Eddie Van Halen's guitar solo and actually his stuff there, everyone will instantly remember that. Really and powerful song. So it is also at number 7 for me. Um, it's different. The song and the videos are two different. So with Michael, I can watch his movies, his videos, and appreciate them, and listen to the song away from the videos. And at this stage, it's like, okay, not bad, but I do prefer the video. But it would be my seventh favorite song on the album, and I would beat it as well.
So you got
Yeah.
beat it as well at number 7.
At number 7, yes.
Interesting.
At number 7, yes.
Interesting. That's crazy. Interesting.
Yes, interesting. And for anyone just joining, it's official that the Michael movie has generated over 200 and almost 20 million this weekend, and it hasn't opened in Japan yet. And I would assume next week it will probably cross the 300 million, and probably it will go on to do close to 700 or 800 million before, and next year it most likely we're going to get the second part of the movie. But a date number 6 for you.
Yes, I'm rained it as if any of us have Michael Pop figures. Yes, I have the one from when he did Rock with You, like that sequence outfit. But number 6,
What are the pop figures? What is that? Is it the doll with the big head or something? Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay.
But for number 6, 6 and up was like so hard because everything should be just aligned by each other for number 1. But let me make sure this is right. Yeah. Pretty Young Thing is my number 6.
Whoa, goodness.
Wow.
My goodness.
Yes.
What did you think of the song itself? Could you put it at number 6? I mean, there's no real
I
hard
wish we
answer.
could make it number 1 with everything else, but we can't do that. So it'd be hard because it's like just because it's low don't mean it's not my favorite. I still love it. I think it's a man confessing his love for a great woman, young, pretty hot thing. And I love how he incorporated like the initials for both the lines. Because I think when I was little, I didn't catch the TLC part when he's like tender love and care. And then like I was like, oh, I think it's really good. It's really good though. Very fun.
You know the two songs that have been inspired by that song?
No.
2 songs that have been inspired by a line on that song, in that song. If I'm sure P-Y-T. Yeah.
UNITY. No.
No.
TLC.
I would let me see. Two songs that have been inspired by that stuff.
Can we talk?
Okay. Oh, why would you say Ten and Talk?
I'm right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because he's like, I want to love you, pretty young thing, and then Tevin is like, I want to talk to you, like I want to get to know you. Yes.
So but here's the line. Where do you come from, lady? And ooh, wouldn't take me there. Right away, wouldn't you, baby? Tenderoni, you've got me. Spark my nature, sugar fly. So Babyface said, "Oh, Tenderoni." So,
Tenderoni.
so tell me two songs that have been. So you
Brony
named
off
one,
Brown.
yeah. So and Babyface wrote both of them, both songs.
Face.
And in an interview he did a couple of years ago, he said it was from that song Tenderoni that was like, oh, so that's the thing. So then he wrote a song about Roni.
So who created the term Tenderoni? Was it Michael Jackson?
No, it was James Ingram who wrote the song.
Oh, so he made up
James
Tinder.
Ingram wrote the song, and Quincy produced it. So, but yes, tender, yeah. So that's a catchphrase that got inspired and how he sang it. So it is Bobby Brown's Roni and Kevin Campbell's "Can We Talk?" Because he does says that he does say tenderoni in the somewhere in the, I can't remember now. Yes, so
And just like a Roni, you were too shy.
yes, just like a Roni. Yes, so Babyface just so
Mhm.
inspired by Mike that he just had to put it in there based on that. So okay, Stevie, what about you?
Number six, there is two main reasons why I put this at number six, and I feel incredibly uncomfortable putting it number six because it's just a great record. The first reason is in the early 2000s I was in a local record store. It's called Vinyl Exchange in Manchester, going through the CDs, and I came across this CD. It had the cover in. It just said Rod Temperton, the songs of Rod Temperton. It was like a 2 CD box set, and it said promotional only, not for resale. So for and I'm looking at this track list. I thought, well, I've got all these tracks. And then I noticed it said Michael Jackson, the title of the track, and it said full version. And I looked at the time scale of it, and it's like over 6 minutes. I'm thinking that wasn't over 6 minutes on the Thriller. So I thought, wow, there's like I found an unreleased version here of this song from the Thriller album. I couldn't believe it. So I took it home, listened to it. Where's my note? And I realised, right, what they've done is of this song, they've taken out the first chorus and the second verse. And then obviously, once I realised that, I went and listened to the Thriller, and I realised how the original, the one that's on the Thriller LP, is a bit awkward now to listen to because
Mm.
because I was listening to this full version. And the second reason is when I actually found out the story of this record, going back to the original master, when Michael Jackson, made this record in its entirety, it was sent off to the mastering plant, and then it came back the first master, and he heard it, and he apparently ran out the studio crying because it just sounded terrible. Apparently all the bass had just disappeared off it, and this is when they realised they had to go back and edit. They had to edit stuff to get this track on the album, which is probably why they could have done without The Girl Is Mine. But the track I'm talking about, I'm sorry, Namdi. I'm really, really sorry, mate. I'm sorry. And I know why you rate it so highly, and I know why, I don't want to give it away, but at number six, it's The Lady of My Life. If you've never heard the over 6 minute version of it with the extra verse, because the lyrics, the original lyrics that that you don't hear on the Thriller, they're in the sleeve here. You can read them. They're on the sleeve here. You can read the lyrics, and it doesn't make. They've just been taken out.
Mm.
So for that reason, and it kills me to put it there, but go on YouTube after this podcast. Go on YouTube, the full version. It's a cassette tape rip of the original full version. It'll change your life when you hear it, and it's
Well,
much better than
that's why
far
I
better than
haven't
the
listened
original
to it.
album mix. Far better than the
That's
original.
that's why I haven't listened to it. I've not listened to the full version of it because I don't want it to.
You have to, Namdi. You have
No,
to.
no, no. And
You have
actually,
to.
let me look at the lady. Lady, I think. Let me look at it. So I I'm just looking at. I believe that I no, lady in my life, lady in my life. I think that I posted this on my channel. Yes, 5 years ago. So, and I can't find the exact date. Yeah, August 13th, 2020. I posted Michael Jackson, Lady in My Life, full version, 6 minutes and 12 seconds.
Mhm.
I probably haven't listened to it in the 6 years that it's been.
Wow, man.
It's been on my. I posted it when I started the channel, and I've not listened to it. I'm
Well,
too
it is the
scared.
reason, the main reason why you should listen to it, because Michael, that's Michael intended you to hear it like that. For that reason, the guy ran out of the studio crying because he couldn't have his full version on the album, mate. And you know that them lyrics that have been taken out, the special, mate. You need to go and listen to them. You
Yeah,
know, life is too short. Life is too short, Namdi. You need to listen to it.
yeah, that won't happen. But that would happen. Yeah, as I said, I've had it since. Yeah, I posted it on my website. This was August of 2020. So, and I started this channel May, I think May 20th of 2020. So within 6 months, but I've never listened to it. So okay, that is weird. Yeah, I don't think I will. I don't want to spoil it. But number six for me is, as I said again, he released seven singles of the album, and they all had an impact in different scales. And but when I listen to the song now, compared to when I listened to it many years ago, um, this song might surprise many people because this is probably one of his favorite songs, one of the songs he enjoys performing, one of his most iconic songs, and is do 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 do
Wow.
din 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 Billie Jean
Six is
at
crazy.
number six.
Wow.
Um, it's just that it's one of the things I'm sure within another year or two, if I was to redo this, some of these songs will move around. Maybe because I'd heard it so much that I enjoy it as much. The late in my life, I don't listen to that song more than once a month. Actually, maybe once, three times a year, because I it's so special that so I think Billie Jean, I've heard it so often, I've seen it and stuff like that. So it's at number six. But I watch the video and I'll watch any performance. But when I hear it on the album, I don't appreciate it as much as I would normally have. Yeah. Okay. So we're up to our top five. None of this is easy. Our top five. Um, what's at number five for you?
My number five is a song that has resonated with millions of people. My brother had the entire outfit when we were kids made by my mom. He performed it at church, he performed it at like dance recitals, and that is Billie Jean.
Okay, wow.
Five, top five, yes. Iconic
Which
sequence
outfit? Are you talking the white suits
of
and
no, the Motown 25 performance outfit for Billie Jean.
okay, 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 okay.
Just dazzled out. Yeah. I love it
Okay,
so much.
okay. Yeah, okay. The because that's one of his favorite stuff. I mean, I remember where was this? I can't remember which show. Which somebody will remind me where maybe was this the MTV performance? I can't remember. It was the MTV performance when no, that was when he did Dangerous. But I thought it was, or maybe it was when he did his 2001 show in New York in Madison Square Garden. He walks out with the suitcase. He walks out with a suitcase, and then he puts the suitcase on a bench on a stool, and then he just walks around and he opens it up, and in the suitcase was the white glove, a white glove, and everyone's just going mad, and he just puts on he just puts it on and just kind of walks around. And then I don't know if the hat was in there, or if he was wearing the hat. I think he was, the hat and the glove was in there. He puts on the hat, he puts on the glove, and then the spotlight comes in, and it just goes crazy. And yeah, and just to see how iconic that is when he puts in the hat and he does that stuff. Yeah, so as I said, the performance of Billie Jean, amazing. The
Yes.
memories of the video, the white stuff, and the fact that this video opened the doors for other black artists to be shown on MTV. This was the video that they pushed to get onto MTV, and once it blew up, they're like, we can't keep out any other black artists. So Whitney Houston, Prince, all benefited from this video. Okay, it was the 30th history tour. That was and 30th performance anniversary. Yeah, that I need to watch that again. I need to watch that again. So yes, Billie Jean definitely. Okay, Stevie, what's your number 5?
Feel terribly uncomfortable about even putting this, but at least it's made my number 5 because I love this record so much. It is the title from this incredible album. This actually, I checked the actual pressing of this album. This is the second pressing of the album from 1982. The second pressing.
When you mean the second pressing, what does that mean?
When the first one's run out, they press. It goes back to the pressing plant. You know, I was saying before about they couldn't get, after a month and a half, nobody could get a copy because all the first pressings of it had sold out. So this was the actual second pressing of it. But what contradicts that is the hype sticker. I don't know if you can see this. There's a gold sticker on it there.
Mm-hmm. But you can't see what it says.
Yeah, this gold sticker says the biggest selling album in music history, winner for 8 Grammys, includes all the classic hits, and it lists the hits, and then also available on cassette. But it's the timestamp of it saying winner of 8 Grammys. Had he won 8 Grammys by the time they pressed a second version of this, which tells me this might have been pressed a lot later. I got this in the early 90s in a warehouse for £4.99. Well, it's definitely an 80s pressing. It's not a 90s pressing. It's definitely one of the original 80s pressings.
Wow.
And I barely played this. It's been on my racks, gathering dust. I pulled it out especially for this podcast because I played the CDs and I keep these vinyls mint. I should have kept this sealed as well. I've opened it. I should have kept it sealed, really. But anyway, my number 5 is the title cut Thriller. And I said earlier about the video and what it did to me as a child. We all know that video is iconic. The dance moves. It's inspired generations after him to copy that video. I just love the groove of it as well. Dun, 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 dun.
I like the guy that Stevie's always off key when he's trying to sing.
Yes.
Like, if you didn't know what he was singing about, you're like,
someone corrected me, and rightly so, because I said Greg Philippines. It's not Greg Philippines. It's Greg Fillinganes.
Fillinganes, yes.
Greg Fillinganes. He plays, and let's not forget the spoken word by Vincent Price, who does that very scary speech at the begingging.
So you know what Vincent said, that Vincent Price was offered $20,000 to do for his appearance, or he could get royalties from the album. He took the $20,000 and didn't give up the royalties.
He made a big mistake there, then, didn't he? Massive.
But that's the thing. I mean, at the time, he probably never thought. No album was selling more than 1 million and stuff like that. So he's thinking, come on, what am I? That equates to what? $5,000. You would never think that you're going to be on 100+ million selling albums. So you take the money because that's tangible and you can do a lot with the cash. So.
I mean, there's one more thing I will say about this record, though, and that's the musical bit before he gets to the chorus. Just when you listen to it again, how they got to the chorus before that little bit before it is just genius, absolute genius. But you'll go back and listen to it again. You know,
Mm.
you had some of the world's best musicians on this. You know, Toto, Steve Picario, Greg Fillinganes, just the top musicians on this, and that's what you're hearing on the album throughout. You know,
Yeah.
what makes it special. You know, we all talk about Quincy Jones as a producer and Rod Temperton, but we kind of forget who was actually playing on the album, and someone like Bruce Sweden who's engineering it as well. It all adds up to
Yeah,
this very special album.
yeah, but you do have to give kudos to Quincy,
Of course,
the orchestra, the one who brought in all these great musicians. I mean, this
yes,
was prior to MPCs where you can just make this all up in your bedroom. I mean, you got the action musicians playing the songs throughout, and all of them wrote parts of the song. But they back in those days, you wouldn't get any credits other than you won't get any writing credits. But some of the performances, like as I mentioned, Eddie Van Halen, he wrote the riff of that part. Now that you would get part of the publishing for writing that music, but back then it was like you considered like a session musician, even though you're guest featuring on
if
it.
you think about it, Namdi, Michael Jackson had all these people around him all at the peak. Quincy Jones, the producer, because they're all still youngish. You know,
Mm,
Rod Temperton, the writer, and all the songs he'd done, you know, for Heatwave and all those others. And then you had Toto, the band in there. They had the energy of the youth, and you had the best of everything for this. This is
mm,
why this album, not and as well as the genius of Michael Jackson, just coming into his prime as well. You know,
mm,
the time was perfect, and even the movie. When you watch the movie, and again, it's a slight spoiler because you now understand why we're getting Thriller, because he didn't have any friends. He grew up without any friends. He's got all the time in the world in his head, and he goes into Peter Pan and Neverland. Is to create this album in his head, and you see it.
mm,
He creates this album over years with the song titles, pinning them
mm,
up to the board. He's all, you know, if he didn't have that childhood, would Thriller have ever been born?
mm.
You know what I mean? If he was busy going out with other kids, with his brothers, maybe this album never have happened, you know, the way it
That's
did.
what my dad says all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, he was dedicated. He wanted to make the best album ever. Um, okay. Number five for me is a song that I remember the video, and I remember at the time. It was an appealing video, and I remember getting. I don't know if you ever got these, Stevie. Back in the day, they had these, like those um, Pellini cards for football.
Hmm.
They had some of those for Michael.
Wow.
They had some, yeah. They had these little like in America you call them baseball cards. So they had them. And I remember having them, and it would be him wearing like the cover of some of the songs. You just get them, and then you had the at the same time they were doing the victory tour, so you'd get pictures of his brothers, but it was almost like collected cards. I God knows those were so long ago, but so I do remember when I think about this song, it takes me back to those collected cards from this album, and Human Nature is at number five.
Wow.
And it's a song that reinvented itself with SWV and him lending his voice on it with it. Probably back in the day, there's a video for it, and it's almost like a cartoony kind of drawing. It's almost like take aha. It's almost like a sketch drawing, and he goes into places like that, and it's it was, yeah, definitely a beautiful song, vocally as well. So I've fallen in and out of love with the song. I think when it got added to the SWV Human Nature remix, it brought back the memories of it, and then I prefer the original more so. But yes, that Human Nature is at number five, and I'm going to search for.
Why?
I'm going to try and say. He said number five. You put "Baby Be Mine" at number nine, almost as though you just discarded one.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, does anybody remember those kind of collector cards from Thriller era?
I don't
Uh,
remember him, Andy. I'll be honest.
okay, Thriller, um, Michael Jackson. Yeah, I don't know my if collector cards. Uh, collector cards. I don't know if somebody collector cards. If anyone remembers them. Um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. I haven't seen them, but I still remember them back. If no, no, people don't remember, and the thing is, I can't even remember what they look like, but I do remember them. I do remember them, but anyway, um, a day number 4.
Number 4 is a song that just I feel like in this song, Michael just serenades, like, his voice is literally serenading on the track, and if I'm listening to, like, an R&B song, that's what I want, like, especially, somebody like Jodeci, like, they're just giving their all on a track, and I feel like this is what Michael does on this track, and it's very let me look at this list. It's, it's kinda like some other songs, but it's also very different in its own lane, and Lady of My Life.
Wow.
My life. I love
It's
that
still
song.
high up. It's still high up.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
At number 4, I mean, yeah, okay, okay. At number 4, all right, okay. Stevie.
And I can tell Namdi's got 2 big daggers in his hat. He's like, oh, Stevie put it number 6. A day's put it number 4. Oh, no.
So good. How did you?
Goodness, Stevie, what did you put down for your number 4?
Number 4, if any of you have the 12-inch version of this and you're thinking this is like the 12-inch extended version, well, it isn't. That is the original album version that I'm talking about from the original test pressing, and it got edited down. And again, it upset Michael a lot. But number 3, not number 3, number 4 is Billie Jean, and you're hearing the album mix is a shorter version. There's a longer mix. It's on the 12-inch, and that would have been the original album mix, but it just couldn't fit that second side. But there's the UK single, and it's the Falling in Love on the B side as well.
Oh,
Yeah, so what a lovely, an epic single here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it Epic? Because at that time it was CBS.
Yeah, this is an epic
So that
print. Very, like I say, very. Let me just check my vinyl of Thriller, because I think this is an epic as well. This is an epic pressing. Not if you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Somebody just rank all Lady of My Life.
Yeah, well, Miss Savignon, we haven't seen you for a minute out in front, so we're glad to see you. But she put Lady of My Life as from 10 to number 1.
Wow.
Well, she does that, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Billie Jean, the video. I mean, we've mentioned the video, the way it lights up but the whole song. I mean, you talk about, and that's another thing. There was a response. There was a response record made in 1983. Let me go back to my notes. I don't know if ever you remember this. A lady from the UK. She was called Lydia Murdoch. She made a record called Superstar, and she was on top of the pops. So it was a response to Billie Jean, to Michael Jackson. Don't know if any of you remember that. Again, YouTube it, Lydia Murdoch, Superstar. It was one of the earlier response records to Billie Jean, because that record got everybody talking, didn't it? They're like, who is Billie Jean? Who's he talking about here?
Oh, I think I remember some lady saying that she was. Yes, I think but it's been such a long time.
I'll send you the link later. I'll send you the YouTube link. I watched it early. I was like, whoa, this is amazing.
Okay. Let me to number 4 for me. A song that featured his sister, Janet, was on this one.
Wow.
And we had the Chipmunks as well. I wanna love you, PYT, pretty young thing. I loved his. I loved his energy in this stuff. Um, and this was definitely a party track. They would play this song with another song at any party. Um, the call and response. Who else was on the? Who else was on the? I thought Latoya was on it. Does anyone know? On the PYT, all the background singers on the song, um, personnel. So we've
Oh,
got yeah, Latoya and Janet singing backgrounds, and then Howard Hewitt and James Ingram singing backgrounds as well. Um, that is some master list on there. And then Michael doing lead and background vocals.
period, Michael.
Paul Jackson Jr. on guitars. Greg Fillinganes, yes, doing his the piano and everything. Um, yeah, definitely, I love the song. Um, and yeah, well, how much? It sold over 4 million in the US. That single alone, without a video. Without a video.
That's insane. I wish,
Without a
absolutely
video.
insane.
I wish they had done videos, but then they didn't need to. It was just selling so much. You just had to release them. Yes.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. All right. So top three a day. What's number three for you?
Bangers. I got Thriller at number 3. What?
Why did
What?
it get so high
What
up?
type of video? Like that is just so amazing. Like how he created. Like, and I'm glad they spoke on this. How he wanted to create short films rather than just a music video. Like, no, like let's look at some acting. Let's look at the storyline. And he looks so good in that video. But this the zombies and transform into a werewolf and going from like schoolboy schoolgirl into this dancing man and you randomly have like it starts on a movie like it's so good, it's so Halloweeny, it's so spooky, the deep voice on the track, I forgot which house that his name was, shout out to him. The darkness falls across the land, like yes.
Yeah, you've been surprised. I, I
Like,
think. Oh, there's a new video for him in nature. I didn't realize that.
yeah, it's like a it's just basically people dancing and stuff.
Okay, it's nothing with Michael in there.
No,
Okay,
they have him playing on like little TV.
okay. I would say that when I think back at the video for Thriller, it starts off with the movie, and then she's scared, and he's eating his popcorn, smiling,
Only a movie.
and they walk out, and he starts to sing, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I appreciate the song when I'm watching it because it's all part of the visual effects. He's singing, he's smiling, and the two of us together, and he's just doing the sort of Frankenstein walk, and then the whole thing. Then they do the breakdown, then all the zombies come out, and he changes and changes again. Yeah, because all that get night.
So
It's
good.
the video you're watching it, and they're chasing her, and then he gets her at the end. It, to invest so much money in trying to get a movie director who just did a Hollywood movie and say, "Can you direct my music video?" And he's like, "I don't do music videos." And the same thing he did with John Singleton when he says, "Oh, I saw Boys in the Hood. I like what you've done. Can you direct Thriller?" The fact that he got one of
Remember
the
this movie.
greatest directors in modern Scorsese, who did Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Cape Fear, did all these things, Goodfellas, and says, "Can you direct Bad in the subway of New York City?" So he was setting trends where no one was doing that. You don't just get a film director and say, "Come direct my movie and my video," because I want to create a movie out of this. And
Mhm.
so thinking about Thrill and getting John Landis and they butt heads a lot. And John Landis later came back and did Black and White. And but just watching it, and as I said, the making of Thriller sold tens of millions around the world because everyone wanted to understand how they made the video, and that was actually as important as the song.
Mhm.
So as I said, as a video, it's on probably one of the greatest music videos ever made, and so the song just fits in. But when you listen to it without the video, it's you missing so much. You miss so much. There's so much missing. That's why when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, I need to watch the video and appreciate it a lot more.
My dad actually did Thriller in the first grade. Like he was Michael, and then like in first grade, like but like high schoolers were like the zombies in the band. Like iconic.
Oh goodness. Okay. Oh well, yeah. Could you just imagine? That's generations of how this song is. All right,
Hmm.
Stevie, number three.
Just going back to Thriller, there is some YouTube videos of people who actually go back to the original sets of what it's like now, like not just the scene where they did the actual zombie dance, but the original house where the cinema's still there. I mean, I'd love to go back. I love the car, that 1950s old fashioned car, that vintage car they had in it, and yeah, just awesome.
You
I
know,
think go on.
oh, you
Go
say
ahead.
you love to go back, but his son Prince, you know, they have the Heal Los Angeles Foundation. They're actually having an event there in October. You should go.
Wow.
You should go.
Also, Mark Benson said, and again, he's reminded me, the original demo of Thriller was originally called Starlight. You know, Starlight, and it just makes it sound like a disco record.
Yeah.
It's amazing. They've gone from Starlight to Thriller. How we
Starlight?
changed it from like a forgettable disco record into what it is now. But my number three, and I think Kanye West really did. He really took this record and he did something really interesting with it. But my number three is PYT, Pretty Young Thing. PYT. It's interesting for this because they've used the picture cover from Thriller. I don't know why,
I
because
was like,
on the actual Thriller 7-inch, they don't use this. This the cover they should have used really, but on the B side, you get This Place Hotel from the Jacksons. So what? Again, what a lovely 7-inch, two killers. But yeah, such you feel great when you hear this record, don't you? It's just such a good feel good
This
dance
place
record.
hotel, that heartbreaker is probably my favorite Jackson
Oh, that's
song.
incredible. That's an incredible
And
record.
it's so good.
I
Yes.
think that was the I think he told I think that was the foundation. I wish because Michael wrote that song, and I wish if he had written it for Thriller, the album,
Thriller.
I
Hmm.
think it would have done so much better. It's just something about it. But it was when you listen to it, you can see the incarnations of Thriller because it was all like haunted stuff. And he probably told Rob because it sounds like Thriller, and Rod just probably took that as the baseline and wrote around it.
Hmm.
So okay. Number three for me is the song that opens the album.
Wow.
It's just such a. This was at every party. Everybody, yeah, you want to be starting something to get. But I mean, this was just the and you can hear the guy with the guitar. I think that would be Paul Jackson. So, but that was definitely loved the single. Let me try and start. Want to be starting something. Who are the personnel on that? Um, yeah, he had so many people on there, but this was a song written by Mike, and he did the vocal arrangements, he did the rhythm arrangements, and he says Michael Jackson, Nelson Hayes, and Stephen Ray, bathroom stump board. He's just stumping in the bathroom, just to get the sounds and everything like that. David Williams on the guitar. Yeah, that was Michael Jackson lead and backing vocals, songwriting, drum programming. Yes, definitely, definitely an amazing track. It's just so much energy and stuff like that. You want to be starting something, and then it was used as a parody if somebody's like trying to start something like, oh, you want to be starting something, and you start, yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just so much energy and stuff. I mean, Stevie, what do you have the single?
I want to be starting something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's
it.
here. I've shown it earlier. I did show it earlier. That one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the one that looks the one in the there's a different one. It looks like he's wearing like a brown leather jacket, a yellow t-shirt and blue jeans, and I want to be
Um,
starting something.
no, I don't have that. Hold on. That's Beat
This
It.
is one of the US 7-inch vinyl mix. Yeah, that's one of the pictures, but it said it's the US 7-inch vinyl re-release
What
artwork. But
pictures
that
are
was this picture, but it was a different pose.
Okay.
Yeah. So Benson says, and nothing beats "Wanna Be Starting Something" as a concert opener. Unbelievable. Now,
It must be nice.
he is somebody who oh sorry. Here's what is that? Here's somebody who went to um I think he went to the Bad Tour in London. I think he did 7 nights, and I think Benson went to at least 3 of those nights. So can you just imagine? I just wish I'd gone to one of his tours, concerts. That would have just been awesome. Yes. Okay. Down to the top two a day. What's number two for you?
Beat it. Beat it.
Wow.
And now I would say that because I feel like the movie. Oh well, never mind. Some people haven't seen it, but
No
anyway,
spoilers yet, but yeah,
yeah, no
if you could
spoilers.
add some, you could
It's
talk
just
around it.
when I went to the gym yesterday, I played Beat It in my headphones on the treadmill. I'm like, whoa, I never went this long before. Like, it just makes you just, I can do anything that I want to achieve. Like, you can just do it. You can beat all the odds that are against you. Like, it's not just beat a stigma of like different gang relations. Like, oh my, I can write an essay on Michael Jackson's just penmanship and how different things can relate to different things. It is just so good in the video. Amazing. Amazing. Just
Okay. I have to correct it. Benson has just said he went to all 7 shows at Wembley. He went to all 7, and I think what was interesting that he reminded us yesterday that when he came out, people would faint, and you just have to lift up your hand and just carry the bodies and push them to the front so that they could be taken out. Now, one of the secretaries at my work, she said that she went to 3 shows at Wembley. The first one, when he came out, she fainted, and so she missed the entire show. And so luckily she had tickets for the other 2, and so she was able to catch it, but she was mindful. So to think that, I mean, Ade, since you've been born, have you seen anyone in a show faint when a performer is has come out on stage or
no,
performed?
never. Never
So
seen a
Beyonce, Chris Brown,
I know
Rihanna,
people are like crying, but they're not fainting.
yeah, hundreds of people, thousands of people are just collapsed, and they're literally being dragged out. And so, and as I said, Benson's mentioned that they went to Australia to watch the Dangerous tour, and if you saw the Super Bowl, when he pops out and just stands there for 2 minutes,
Hmm.
yeah, his sister fainted and missed the entire show. So that was so when you hear that actually people would just collapse in it, and there's no one else that generates that level of that
Yeah.
you just pass out. That shows you that there are levels. And so when people talk about people talk about, oh, Chris Brown is like the next Michael or Beyonce, and it's like, show me thousands of people who fainted in your show, then I would think about it.
Hmm.
Then I would think about it. What did he
Right.
say
Like
here?
I don't. I don't really get jealous of anything ever, but people who have experienced a Michael Jackson show, like closer to the front though, like not, but like closer to the front row, I just know that feeling is like no other. I just know, like you're so lucky. Like,
I like this one. I was once in a room, NJ. I've seen the history close up. Um, Phonetic, who did the Heaven Can Wait from the Invincible album, and he talks about when I interviewed him, he talked about how the song was initially written for Kevon Edmonds, and as they were recording it, Kevon says, "Why are you trying to get me to sing this song like Michael? That if you think this is for Michael, you give it to him." So they pulled the song from Kevon, and then they got it to Teddy, and Teddy got it to Michael, and then he was called into they. And Michael says, "Yeah, I love the song. I want to record it." And he says that he was always thinking about doing an updated version of "Lady in My Life." So that was the thing. So when he got to the recording and he got to see Michael, Michael comes up to him and says, "Well, I want to thank you for the song, beautiful song." And he says that it was almost like if you ever watched the old Charlie Brown cartoon, at the back when anytime the parents talk, it is very much wah 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 wah. So you never really it's just a. He said that Michael was talking to him and he couldn't hear anything because he was like, "Okay, this is Michael. You are talking. I can't believe that you're talking, and I'm listening there." So just to have people who have seen him, worked with him, and they fan out, and then it's hard to just okay, let us regroup and actually start to work because even Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they were saying that when he was singing, they were just there fanning out while he was performing, and these are Jimmy and Terry. So yeah, definitely. Okay, so
Hey,
I kind
Jalen, thank you. Mhm.
of oh, your friend Jalen's here. All right, who's next? Stevie, number two for you.
Number two for me, and again, I feel like this should be my number one because I think it's the one record that has stood the test of time on this album. It's the one record that it just sounds so unique. And it's written by Steve Picario and John Bettis. And there is a story behind this that Quincy Jones had these two guys. They were writing demos for Thriller, and they'd already wrote 3 tracks, 3 demos, which were already pre-recorded on a cassette tape. And they were making this one track and they didn't have a song title. They just had the musical arrangements. They had the arrangement, the drums, the chord changes and everything in it. And apparently one day, one of the daughters came home and she was saying to one of the dads, who's one of the writers, telling this story of what had happened to that day. And she said, "Dad, I can't understand why did he do that?" And the dad turned around and went, "Well, it's just human nature." And apparently a light bulb went off his head, off his head. He thought, "That's the title. That's what I needed for this song that I'm doing." So apparently he went back, wrote this song and an arrangement of Human Nature, and he had to quickly put it down on a cassette tape. But and he recorded it on the other side of the tape, which had these 3 demos on. And then Quincy was on the phone going, "If you got anything for me?" He goes, "Yeah, I'll send this." So he sends this tape off, right? And apparently Quincy he'd heard the demos that were on one side first, the first 3 demos. And apparently he didn't like them. He's going, "Oh, there's just nothing there." But if you remember about old cassette tapes, it's like they'd automatically, once it had run out on one side, it'd also automatically play on the other side. So this is running out, and he's got the tape still playing, and it's dead air. And then suddenly, this demo comes in of Human Nature. Forget it's unfinished at this minute. And apparently Quincy, he's heard it, and he's straight on the phone. He goes, "What is that? What is that record? What is that record?" It goes, "Dun, dun, 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 dun." He goes, "Well, that's Human Nature." He said, "That's the one. That is the one." And that's what I'm talking about. It sounded, if any of you remember the big hit from the early 80s, Toto, Africa, and how unique that sounds, just think of how unique this Human Nature. It's, again, this performance in the new Michael movie even exemplifies it even more. That performance is incredible. And I like as well, if you can remember the way at the end where it fades out and it just keeps going. It fades out on it, and you really like this just sound going, did it like that, and it makes you feel like so uneasy, as if that's Human Nature. You don't get an ending to it. It's just Human Nature, and incredible musicianship, incredible. But it's at my number 2. It should be number 1, but just a classic, all-time classic, and it has stood the test of time. It really has stood the test of time, that record.
Definitely, yeah, and especially with the SWV bringing it to a new audience and stuff. And there was such a debate around, did Teddy get really produce the track, and did All Star and all that stuff. But if you think about it, Michael had never let anyone, because he owned the masters of his catalog, and without Teddy's connection, you don't get him singing on that record, and it added something special to the stuff, you know.
Oh, we've only just got a video to it, haven't they? They've just released. There's never a video for it, and
Yeah, that's
apparently on Michael Jackson's YouTube, they put a new video out for it now, so you can go and watch that as well.
yeah. Okay, number two for me. Phew, goodness, this was for a long time. This was one of my favorites. I don't need no dreams when I'm by your side. Every moment takes me to paradise. Darling, let me hold you. I want to warm you in my arms and melt your fears away. Show you all the magic that a
What?
perfect love can take. I need you day and night, baby, be mine. Baby, you gotta be do me to me.
Baby, baby
And,
mine.
Yes.
yes. Rod Templeton as a writer. This was a sort of an updated version of a slow jam, but I just love this song. Um, yeah, it is such a and when Michael sings love songs, he knows how to sing love songs. The problem is he stopped singing a lot of them subsequently on his following albums. He started to, when you look at the Bad album, he didn't put a lot of them in there, but this time he showed his sensitive side. And Baby Be Mine is, yeah, one of my all-time favorites. I think it's in my top 5 Michael tracks. If I'm doing a top 10 Michael, Baby Be Mine would be in the top 5 of all his catalog. So that is such a beautiful, beautiful track, and I wish they did a video as well for that one. But yeah, that's at number 2, high up at number 2, Baby Be Mine.
Yes.
Great inclusion there, Namdi.
Great.
Okay, so Dave, before you get to number 1, so go through your number 9 down to number 1.
Okay, number 9, I have my number 9 was Baby Be Mine. 8 was Wanna Be Starting Something. No. Yes. Wait. Hold on. No, 8 was The Girl Is Mine. 7 is Wanna Be Starting Something. 6 is PYT. 5, Billie Jean. 4 was Lady in My Life. 3 was Thriller. 2 was Beat It. Oh, Stevie, I'm so glad you said what you said about this. Just, what's that word? Like that intergalactic, whatever. That it's like some spiritual. There's something spiritual in that melody in his voice when it's all combined on human nature. And like you said, dang, not to spoil anything, but y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. In the film, it's just so beautiful. It's just beautiful, and that's all I have. It's just beautiful, and I keep listening to it. Like it's like, let's say I'm like riled up or I'm feeling a certain type of way. I listen to this, boom, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm calm again. Like it's absolutely beautiful.
Okay. It's
a great number 1. It's a great pick for number 1 a day. Can't argue with you. Fantastic pick. Don't think anyone can argue with you, number 1, really.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. You can't argue with most of them. Stevie, what about you?
Number 9 is Where It Should Be. The Girl Is Mine. Number 8 is Where It Shouldn't Be. Is Wanna Be Starting Something. Number 7 is probably Where It Shouldn't Be. Is Beat It. Number 6 again is Where It Shouldn't Be. The Lady in My Life. Number 5, I don't know. Maybe it should be there. Maybe not. But maybe, I don't know what you think. But number 5 is Thriller. Number 4, probably, yeah, Billie Jean. Number 3, could be high up for some people, but it's number 3 for me is PYT. Number 2, could be number 1. This easily, it's an easy, it's I wouldn't argue, like I say, a day's already picked it, and I was almost going to pick it for my number one, but I remembered what my always go to track was. But number two is Human Nature, and a day you remind me of Luke Skywalker in the film Empire Strikes Back, and I'll explain why. He's learning to be a Jedi, and he goes off to see Yoda, the Jedi Master, and he's doing all his Jedi training, and Yoda could see the talent in him, like we can see with you, me and Namdi on these podcasts. But he's not quite there yet, especially when he puts "Baby Be Mine" at number 9. And unfortunately, Yoda just at the point where he's really about to learn the real true Jedi genetics and become a full Jedi, his friends were in trouble and he jets off to help them, and Yoda's disappointed. And that is where you're at the moment with your R&B podcast training. You're not quite there yet. You can see you're going to be a great Jedi, R&B Jedi eventually. Which brings me to my number one, my go-to track, the most soulful, grooved out track on the album. It's always my go-to, and it's on the B-side of this single. I don't know if you can see that.
Mm.
It's Baby Be Mine. Makes
Baby
my
Be
number one.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It was put on the B-side of I Just Can't Stop Loving You from the Bad album. I don't know why. It should have been a single, but this is just an absolute killer danceable soul track for me. Absolute killer. And it's always been my go-to track on this album. I just love this track so much.
Okay.
Human Nature it could overtake it. Because like I say, that record has stood the test of time. But baby be mine, baby, you gotta be mine. Yes, the
As
number
I
one.
mentioned for a while, it used to be my favorite Michael track, but yes, but yeah, that's definitely I definitely agree. Okay, yeah, number 9 for me, "The Girl Is Mine." Um, as I said, it used to be a favorite back in the 80s. Thriller. The only reason it's at number 8 was because it's like watching a movie without the popcorn. Um, it's like having the popcorn at home. It doesn't taste as sweet when you have it in the movie theater. And listening to the song without the music video, it doesn't sound as great as when you watch it and appreciate it. Um, at number 7, Beat It, which back in the day it was just a momentous film to watch, very much reminiscent if you've watched The Warriors. It's an 80s, is it 70s? The Warriors, and it's almost like this. Billie Jean, which would always have been higher up. One of Michael's best performances on Billie Jean. Um, Human Nature, such an amazing vocal performance of this. Number 4 is PYT, Pretty Young Thing. Number 3 is Want to Be Starting Something. Number 2, That Baby Be Nine. As I said, for a while, it used to be my favorite. I just love his soulful rendition of it. But not number 1. My all-time favorite song ever, ever's favorite song is, and that is why I will never ever listen to the full version because I do not want it to spoil my fantasy around this. It is
Wow.
The Lady in My Life.
Wow, Namdi.
Because if he had only realized how much him singing these ballads, I mean, he got close to Butterflies and he got close to Heaven Can Wait. I think Heaven Can Wait was very close, where he's almost saying, if the angels come for me, I'll tell them no. I don't want to leave my baby alone. That kind of like, okay, I'm just going to put everything out there. I heard he was, when he sang this song, that he almost had to hide because he was like, man, I have to get the sensual end as I'm singing. But The Lady in My Life, as I said, um, Donnell Jones said that was his favorite. Pam from Total said it was her favorite. I can't remember how many others. Neo says one of his favorite all-time songs. I think Maxwell says it's his favorite Michael Jackson song. There is so many people who are true balladeers that when they listen to this song, they're like, okay, this is something. that it's yeah. Wrote an amazing song. Michael gave an amazing deliverance. I wish I'd seen him perform this live. It would have brought the house down. But the lady in my life, my true
Great.
favorite, all-time favorite song, and favorite Michael Jackson song, and then favorite song off of the Thriller album. You know, when we started this, I already had "Lady in My Life" number one, "Baby Be Mine" number two, and I built around that. Those two were just like one and two, and it's like, okay, now I need to find how I put the other seven. That's how much I appreciate those two songs on that. Um, Mike's that's amazing. The biggest selling album, and it just shows that they really took their time to make sure that they didn't just put out any dot album. They really worked hard on this. Won 8 Grammys, most celebrated album ever, and now the movie is. I wish they just do in the Michael universe the making of the Thrill album. They can just do a film on that, get it, and then after that, do the making of the Bad Tour, and just continue to use Jafar to make these movies, and everyone will just go watch them. The making of the Thrill album. That would just be an amazing thing. Yes. But anyway, yes, I mean it's as I said, the album came out in '82, so we're thinking about 43 years ago, and it'll be 44 years this November, and it still has this impact. Yes.
I mean, silly question time, Namdi. What do we rate the album out of 10? Or is that a silly question?
Silly question.
I don't. It's hard, but everyone in the chat, out of a 10, what would you give Thriller as an album? I mean, a day, could you even think about
10.
rating it?
10.
You give it a 10. Stevie, what would you do?
I mean, it would have been, if they'd have left off Girl Is Mine and put the original long versions of
Oh
The
my
Lady
God.
in My Life,
I don't know.
Billie Jean, and Human Nature, so you heard them in all them, it would have been the perfect album. It still is the perfect album. But it would have been as an 8-track album, would have been the greatest 8-track album of all time. It still is. It probably is arguably the best album of all time. I mean, that's up for debate. But you can't give it less than a 10, can you?
Yeah.
You just can't. There's no way.
Yeah.
You
I
just
mean, for me, it's an unrated album. It's a 10 out of 10. It's all I would say, as I mentioned about the lady in my the girl is mine. I appreciated it a lot more back then than I do now. But to think about how that then expired, the boy is mine, and all the success that has, and the tour, all from how Michael came up with this, and he wrote the song and said, "Paul, come and sing on this with me." So I do appreciate the song on there. I think even though it might not be as appreciated now, but easily, I mean, people are putting 11 and 12 out of 10 and stuff like that. It's the biggest selling because it was one of the best albums ever. It's it it wasn't because he did the moonwalk that people just bought the album. It is an album that just had these classic songs. They released 7 out of the 10 out of the nine songs on there, and the documentaries, the all the stuff on there. It's just great to appreciate, and I think the sad thing for Mike was that he tried to emulate it, and I think it's hard to try and do that. I mean, you're always living in, oh, I need to do another Thriller.
Mhm.
But then by the time he did Bad, and by the time he did the other albums, the music is not, I almost say music had changed, but it's just like Thriller was a moment. It was a moment, and you can't just create those moments again. You just have to have them. You know, Bad did not sell as big in America, um, but globally, the tour was the biggest tour worldwide, because that was his first solo tour. So that was a phenomena on its own, and Moonwalker was the biggest selling movie home video, music video, and all he had more top 10 songs from that album than anyone else at the time. Um, but the songs of Bad weren't as soulful as Thriller. I wasn't a massive fan of the single Bad, and he did Dirty Diana.
Well, that
So
was much more of a rock pop. It was more of a pop album.
yeah, so if he's trying to sell Thriller numbers, then you think let's stay in that Thriller lane
Mm.
and do soulful songs like that. But then, as I mentioned, by the time you get to but and it was such a leap between the time he did Thriller and Bad. If he had released Bad, probably 85. Because think about it, he released Thriller in 82. Bad came out in what, 87 or
Yeah,
87?
big 5 years and a
Five
lot.
years.
I mean,
Yeah,
we've not even mentioned when he's the Pepsi commercial and what it did to him physically, because that
yeah.
really that was the start of his slow trajectory downfall. I think was it, that happening to him, which was terrible, because
Mm,
from then on he was on medication after that forever, for the rest of his life, and he was changing physically, wasn't he? That was the start of it. I mean, the other thing I'm going to add about Phil and the way the music industry, the way it was then to what it is now, because what's very sad is back then the music industry was set up. Even you could go about the greed and the way the music industry takes advantage of artists, but at least it was set up then to find an artist like Michael Jackson and turn him in to the superstar that he became. Because
mm,
that won't, and because you come to today's period now, we could have a there could be a kid out there that's born, that's just got this great God-given talent, with his voice, dancing, or he or she, but the music industry is not set up now to nurture and take that talent right, to be an absolute global icon, which is just sad. And this is why we'll never get anything like a Michael Jackson ever again, you know.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's that's the other thing I learned about this movie. I thought, I'm sat there thinking, my gosh, there has to be kids out there that have got that talent, but who's going to find him now? Who's going to nurture it? He's going to, what I mean? It's not going to happen. Sad, really sad.
Mm,
But I think it's also beautiful that there will never be another Michael Jackson. Like, he set the
No.
tone. That's him. And it's beautiful that there'll never be another him ever.
Well, as a music fan, I want there to be. I'm not saying we don't need another Michael Jackson. We just need a unique artist with a unique sound, a unique voice, a unique movement, just to blow us all away again. I want that to happen. We kind of had it with Bobby Brown with Don't Be Cruel. That was magical, that period, because there was for Don't Be Cruel, there was nothing like Bobby Brown at the time. Terence Trent D'Arby was a bit special. It just didn't quite happen for him. But again, these artists were influenced by Michael Jackson, clearly
mm.
influenced by Michael Jackson and even Prince. But will there ever be another artist that's going to blow us away
Yeah, I
again?
mean, think about
Ain't
music. Think
hearing.
about music videos. There's the whole, you look at Thriller, where you have the lead singer, and the backup dancers following a routine. Then everyone just started to do it thereafter, and so it was very much emulating what Mike was doing. Um,
The thing is,
and
like, people say Chris Brown, right? They mention Chris Brown, but to me, Michael Jackson appeals to all ages, all demographics, from kids to housewives to men. Chris Brown doesn't do that. Girls
mm,
love Chris Brown, they'll follow him everywhere. But that's where it stops. It just Chris Brown, he's a great artist. He can sing, he can dance, he can do all that, but he just doesn't. That's what I'm talking. That's the difference.
yeah, even
You know,
Beyonce, she has a fan base, but it's not. It doesn't. I
it's not a universal. It's not a universal fan base, is it? Like
yeah,
Michael had it.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. So it's the entertaining part. That's definitely the thing, is that he took his entertainment to another level and perfection. But then
We
I
do,
think we
we
forget
do
that.
need something like this. We need something special again. I'm praying something special comes along
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, but I think the other thing is that I think people underestimate how great of a singer he was, a vocalist. From when he was a kid, singing "I'll Be There" and singing all those songs with the Jacksons Five, and then the soulfulness of when he was part of the Jacksons, and then when he did his own album. I think sometimes the celebrity and all the magnitude of stuff overshadows the fact that vocally he could sing anybody off the park. Um, but he made such big albums and big records that people just almost bypass how much of a vocal talent. And then when he was going on tour, he might he might just do the use miming and stuff because he's dancing and putting a lot of performances in. So he's not singing live all the time, but when he did sing, just on another level. Okay, so it has been. I never thought I'd be able to do this album. I've never tried to do this album because it was always the impossible album to rank.
It's the
But
timing. The timing was right for this, Namdi, with the
yeah,
movie.
yes, definitely, definitely. Um, f- we've all seen the movie. Ade, you say you've seen it twice?
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, if you've not seen it, I mean, the numbers this week, it's going to be all over the headlines. Everyone's going to like, oh, the movie wasn't bad, and then go see it. And I think the people, the community have really stepped up and says, look, man, don't trash our brother. We're gonna support him, and we're gonna defy all those nonsense that you guys have said. I do plan to see it again because there's so much I kind of want to focus on and appreciate. All right. Everyone who's been part of the show tonight, we appreciate you guys. We
In a
appreciate.
thrilling episode.
It's been a thrilling episode. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, it's interesting. We all have different opinions about the album. We all had a different number one. But an album with 9 songs that's sold over to 120 million. What else are you gonna expect? So we appreciate you guys. We'll be back at another time. Definitely, critics are wrong. Final words of the day, then Stevie.
Oh, final words. Yes, guys. Rest in peace to Michael Jackson, the greatest entertainer that ever lived. I'm very just happy that people are coming out to support, despite, when they tried to trash his legacy, tried, but could never happen. But I'm just glad everyone is really just going out supporting him, his family, Jafar, in this role.
Yeah, Stevie.
Just blessed to have experienced the whole, of people are saying in the chat, Michael Mania during the 80s, growing up with him, and blessed to be even experiencing this now with the movie and this podcast and everybody here this evening talking about Michael. It is very much a shared community experience, everyone coming together. Like you said, Namdi, we're not going to let the critics, give it 1 out of 5 and just let the movie just disappear. The fans said no. We're all, we're all here for this, and with everything that's going on in the world, we need this. We need a film like this to get everybody together. You know,
Yeah, 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 and well said, both of you guys. And as I said, for me, it's definitely, yeah, it was definitely an important time to be able to be a kid and watch the whole stuff happen. And sometimes we talk to the youth of today that yeah, every time they go to a show, they're using their phone to record the show, but you never play it back. You post that clip on social media, and then you miss out on what you just now you have recorded it, post it, and it's like but I used to go to concerts and just sit in there and just like absorb and appreciate it. And for those of us who were around when Mike was at his best and he was just performing, you didn't need to try and record it to capture it, because you can never capture those moments. Um, Watching him in '88 at the Grammys singing "Man in the Mirror" and just saying and just being in awe of all of that. Watching the premiere of Black and White and the whole turning into a leopard, smashing up stuff and stuff. Watching the premiere of Remember the Time. I mean, that these are moments that, can you imagine? The Simpsons was one of the biggest shows on TV, and in the middle of the Simpsons, they did the world premiere of Remember the Time. Those, they don't do that anymore. They don't say, okay, Michael Jackson's releasing a new music video, so we're going to do a world premiere on Fox TV, and so the world is watching. Then the news are reporting on it. They don't do that to Chris Brown or Beyonce or Bruno Mars. They don't do that to anybody. That's what Michael was like. And so the same people that are building him up are trying to discredit him, trying to bring him down. But the fans are having the last word. So it was great that we celebrated the biggest selling album. It's great that yesterday we celebrated the movie and we went in depth with the movie. And we will come back and celebrate the fact that the movie has done over $1 billion and wait for part 2 to come out. But anyway, we appreciate you guys, and we will see you in due time. Thanks a lot, guys.
Come on.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of.
And somewhere in between
us for even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple pieces.
trying to get this one and that one.
That works for me, but just for me,
No. Okay, you okay?
They don't understand what Jonas Boys and men and all spirits.
Play it.